After resigning as Prime Minister, Mr. Cameron said his successor should take up office by October, at which point the UK would embark on its two-year political divorce from the EU. He assured his people he will do everything in his power as Prime Minister to steady the ship over the coming weeks and months. However, he does not believe it would be right for him to try to be the captain that steers England to its next destination. The next step is for Britain to tell the EU that it wants to go by using Article 50 of the EU rulebook for the first time in history. But there is now a short moment for reflection before Mr. Cameron's successor triggers this legal mechanism which gives the UK 2 years to leave the EU. Eurosceptic MP Boris Johnson, the favourite to replace the Prime Minister, has hailed Brexit as a glorious opportunity for Britain to find its voice in the world again. Now one may ask, what does Brexit mean for the economy? The Brexit victory sent economic shockwaves through global markets, and UK stocks on Friday had their worst drop since the financial crisis. The pound on Friday fell to its lowest since 1985, and emergency steps are now being taken to calm the economic turmoil. There is uncertainty over what will happen when Britain leaves the EU because it has to make new trade agreements with the rest of the world. Bank of England Governor Mark Carney said some market and economic volatility can be expected as this process unfolds, but we are all prepared for this. Supporters of Brexit argue that EU countries have every incentive to keep trading with the UK, which is a large importer of goods and services. But Europhiles worry that foreign companies will be less likely to invest and could relocate their headquarters if Britain loses access to the EU's single market. Ahead of the referendum, investor Neil Woodford, founder of Britain's Woodford Investment Management, described pro-European claims that the economy would be damaged as bogus, saying it is a nil-sum game, quite frankly, whether Britain stays or leaves the EU. UKIP leader Nigel Farage has also said the Brexit vote is good news for exporters who have struggled with the high value of the pound. Now that Britain has voted to leave the EU, it will no longer have to contribute billions of pounds a year towards the European Union's budget. During the campaign, Eurosceptics slammed a confederation of British industry report that claimed the Brexit would cause a £1 billion shock to the UK economy. The Treasury was also accused of doom and gloom after predicting that a Brexit would cost households £4,300 a year by 2030, leaving Britain worse off for decades. Lorraine Gabina, EMTV World News.